Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I feel bad because I would always go on the first Wednesday of every month to Half Price Books in Austin, North Austin, to join host Tom Woodruff in his open mic reading that was titled Community Poetry. It was a chance to show off poetry, sometimes on a theme. He probably had something related to new for January when he would do it in past years. But every year I would apologize and say, I'm sorry, I'm not applying to a theme. I'm going to read from the most recently released Scarce Publications books, since I'm a book publisher, and he would always be cool with that. And so I would like to share with you a section of poems from one of the sections of the Down in the Dirt late 2020 issue collection book called Late Frost. It's got this really cool piece of frozen tree branch from winter snows, which now that we're in Austin, Texas, we might not see that so much, but I know that that exists in my home and up in Chicago, and that exists probably on the Upper East Side and the northern parts of the country. And well, just stay home for at least another week and think about cozy Christmas time stuff, because I've got this tree behind me, which is probably one of the last times I'm going to read with the tree before it goes down. And I thought that I would share with you, and I'm trying this for fun. These are my husband's reading glasses, and host Tom Woodruff would often sit with like a gazillion different kinds of reading glasses around. I'd put them on and I'd make little faces with them. So in honor of him, I'm going to be using one pair because I don't have lots of crazy pairs. I do over there, but I don't feel like grabbing the blue ones and the orange ones. But, you know, might as well play with the glasses in honor of Tom Woodruff. This is from the first section of the Down in the Dirt issue collection book that is titled Late Frost. That's the In the Singularity section. And it starts with a poem in the middle of the book that follows a short piece of prose by Mr. Bates called Higgs Boson, and in light of that we just had to include this poem, which is titled Boron from the Big Bang. It's actually a periodic table poem. It's strange to incorporate the creation of the universe in a single element poem, but when you're going to write a poem for every element in the periodic table, you might as well take some liberties here. So this is a long first piece that's in the middle of the book that people thought was a cool combination to put these two stories together. This is titled Boron from the Big Bang. The Higgs boson, the Higgs particle, the God particle, as some have called it. It's an elusive elementary particle theorized about for nearly half a century. They call it the God particle because it might have created all matter. You see, scientists are trying to figure out how the Big Bang started to evolve. You see, a theory is that all the universe's energy was created from this massive explosion from nothingness. But the question remains, how did any of that energy turn into matter? Because during the first few minutes of the universe after the Big Bang, the temperature was so hot that it was too hot for any binding energy that could have supported any matter, even hydrogen or its isotope deuterium. So, with this temperature so hot, this bottleneck delayed the formation of anything until the universe was cool enough to make anything of anything. But just a few minutes after the Big Bang, elements burst forth because the universe suddenly got cool enough. But at 20 minutes after the Big Bang, the universe was suddenly too cool for nuclear fusion or nucleosynthesis, and that is when elemental abundances were nearly fixed. That means hydrogen, helium, and trace amounts of lithium, beryllium, and boron were the elements formed in those first 3 minutes of the Big Bang. Sorry, any elements starting with carbon or higher were only formed after stars were around to actually create them. So, the creation of matter out of energy during the formation of the universe only happened in an insanely brief period of the universe's history. Was it just the insanely hot temperatures in this insanely short period that did it? And what does that even have to do with the Higgs boson particle anyway? Well, scientists believe the Higgs particle is a part of a Higgs field, an invisible field of energy throughout the entire universe. That Higgs particle interacts with whatever energy passes through the Higgs field. And with this interaction, particles, massless particles, will trade their energy to gain mass when passing through. And that Higgs field in the beginning of the universe helped create matter. Wow, that's actually helped create us. Higgs helped create matter, including the first elements of the universe, from hydrogen to the comparatively heavy boron. Yeah, 5 elements. Electrons is heavy in the formation of the universe. Yeah, boron, which helps keep our bones strong. Boron treats osteoarthritis. Boron builds muscles. And when it comes to trying to understand this science, it even improves our thinking skills. We've known of boron for thousands of years, from the deserts in Tibet or from the China and glazes, all the way over to Persia, where it got to Italy, where it was then used for medical purposes. Well, knowing how long we've used borax for cleaning, or even that boron's used to make the strongest magnet ever made, it's nice to know that we also understand how much this infancy of the universe element is vital to everything in our lives, from our muscles and bones to the very creation of this universe. Yeah, it's cool to see how scientists are starting to piece together how matter came to be in the universe. Because without that Higgs field, and without that Higgs particle, energy would never have turned into boron to create anything, or even create us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a section of poems that are right at the end of the In the Singularity section of the Down in the Dirt collection book, Late Frost. Late Frost. This one was written on the 2nd of December for the 1901 date that Vice President Teddy Roosevelt used the phrase, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." In honor of that day, this short piece was written. Extension of violence, cued as a button. I always seem nice to people. When going out, I put on the charm, act ultra pleasant, am quietly cute as a button. When I walk down the street, I then curl each key from my keychain between each finger, so that I'll be ready for an attack, and I can be ready to attack anyone that came too close. Then I'd wrap my purse strap 8 ways around my wrist, so that if anyone tried to take it, it would become an extension of my arm and a new weapon as I fought back with a fervor. Because, as I said, I'm a charm on the outside, but inside, I'm a bomb. And this next one was written on the 3rd of September, and it's for National Skyscraper Day. And this is titled Engineering with Creativity. I've lived with a long lineage of builders. It's in our blood. We instinctively want to crane our heads, look up to the stars, because even though we don't have wings, we want to master what's high. I know that slave labor historically stacked rocks to make the global monuments we revere today, and the artistically inclined may prefer music or art to share. And sure, those things give humanity life, but some of us also like the skyscrapers that no artist could attain just by sharing art. It takes a mix of the engineering mind with creativity to make something that everyone right now can on some level admire, whether it's for offices or for a phenomenal view. And this, trust me, will last. For Skyscraper Day, yeah, we gotta pull off and give it up for Skyscraper Day, right? But then, if you want to say, well, let's get back to wildlife, what are you talking about? So, alright, fine. The 4th of September, this poem was written, and it was for National Wildlife Day, and it is a poem that is titled One with Wildlife. Stopping my car, rolling down the window, the large bison seems to just stand there, though that may be just my imagination. Because the only photo that I could snap looks like the bison might actually be slowly walking away. Pulled over my car when there was snow everywhere along the snowy Wyoming roads. I wonder if the snow silenced my Saturn while I pulled over. Slowly opened my car door, slid out of my seat, and stand to see the gold fox at the road's edge. This wildlife was too amazing for this city girl. But I took one step, and those golden ears on that fox perked right up before a fox darted away in the snow. The only way we could see a humpback whale is in their habitat, and it was to sail near them. But in the Southern Ocean, these animals haven't learned to fear our technology. So the key may be to try to get into their element, to play in the water, like with the sea lions in the Pacific after swimming down at the napping sharks at the bottom. Walk over to the grounds of the Nazca birds, but don't get too close. Or, simply enough, drive out in the middle of nowhere, lay down in the grass. Don't wait, just relax. Maybe fall asleep under the stars, and before you know it, a deer will come near. But don't lift your head, don't try to commune. You'll scare the deer away, because even they know that you're really not one with wildlife. So, let them be. Enjoy this fleeting moment of connection and realize how sacred the wild can really be. Fascinating where you're looking at things in different events. In this case, October, you can just jump from one topic to the next with these poems, like this next one, which was written on the 6th of September, which was National Read a Book Day. How about this book? Issue collection book from Down in the Dirt magazine. It is the September to December 2020 issue collection book. There's a lot of material in here. And for those who don't buy regular issues, this is a great way to get a lot of stuff. This is Down in the Dirt's issue collection book for the end of 2020 titled Late Frost. And I'm going to pull up a few more poems in this reading for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. This one is for, as I had said, National Read a Book Day for the 6th of September. And it's called Onto a Page. Oh, sometimes reading an assigned book for school was the biggest trauma known to mankind. No, please, do I really have to read this? My eyes now battle, fluttering open and closed, just to try to get through this. Don't make me read this book. Then, later, some philosophy classes came, and you got a chance to read some good classic writing. And maybe you get a hold of a philosophy novel that, although it was insanely long, you didn't want to let go of, so you'd spend hours at a time reading. Right now, there's a stack of books sitting around that you want to spend some time reading. You can get into that comfy chair and allow yourself to get lost in the worlds other authors have put onto a page. But you don't have the time to read like this anymore. And all those books just sit there, patiently waiting. I suppose that's the nice thing about books. They wait patiently while we get lost in the everyday mindless minutia. So, reflect on the time when escape wasn't a movie theater, and once again, curl up in yourself with the good book. which is entirely fitting right now because we're spending less time in movie theaters because of COVID. Everyone has to stay separated from everyone else, so pick yourself up a good book. Seems like a smart idea. I am going to share with you, maybe 3 more poems, 3 from this section of the book for you. This first one was written on the 14th of September, and it was for Live Creative Day, and it's titled Explore Your Imagination. Don't think of this as a command. Don't think of this as a commandment. That would be missing the point. We live our lives in the same routine, doing the same mundane things. It's a good idea to change things up. Change what you normally wear, or go to the garage, take out some old paint, just to create new designs on paper. Or better yet, paint with an old paper bags. You play the radio with some music that's actually new to you. This is your chance to just let go. So explore your imagination. Be creative. Because being creative makes us free. Suspend reality. Let's see where it takes you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got 2 more single-page poems that I'm going to share with you from this book. I hope you enjoy them. They relate to things in September because this is the In the Singularity section of the book that I'm reading from that shares that month. This was written on the 8th of September, which is on the day of the 1916 bid to prove that women were capable of serving as military dispatch riders, because Augusta and Adelaide Van Buren arrived in Los Angeles after a 60-day, 5,500-mile cross-country motorcycle trip. They wanted to prove, we can do this. You think we can't? You think we can't? I tell you we can. And they wanted to prove that the men were wrong, I guess. So this is a poem for that is titled, You've Tucked Us Women Away. People say we can't play with the big boys, like we don't have the stones, when our stones are so much bigger and have been polished over the years because we've handled almost everything. You think we're not strong enough. You think we don't have the endurance. So please allow me to relieve this unease, and please allow me to give you the relief that these women can do what all the world needs. You've tucked us women away for millennia while we took care of you, your home, your family, while you went out and acted so important. And what you never realize is that we women are important too. We've proven that every day of our lives. You just never noticed. So maybe it's time for you to watch and see how we can really roar. That was fun to read, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what this last 1-page poem is, but I'm going to share it with you for this reading. I hope you enjoy it. This was written on the 16th of September, and it was because of Anne Bradstreet Day, the day the British poet Anne Bradstreet passed away in 1672. She was born in 1612. So, yeah, look at all these weird things that I'm pulling up for you guys. This is a poem that is called Keep Looking for Hope. When you are uprooted from everything you know, sent to live in the opposite of everything you know, times may seem too tumultuous, too taxing to take. So, what I would always do, no matter my workload, was allow me this time, this space to write, to reflect. My writing was published more where I once lived. Let me have that in my new home too. Please, let me tackle the challenges of my faith as I now tackle my struggles with the sufferings of life. And let me do this with my pen. I now travel to stay with my husband, for if ever two were one, then surely we. I am blessed when we are together, and when he supports me beyond my taking care of our home, but also by him supporting my writing. Because writing isn't considered an acceptable role for women, so men assume my goal is rebelling against social norms. A minister may even say that publishing a book was outside the realm of what women were supposed to do. But I am not interested in what society's norms are. My homesick imagination only led me to develop this inquiring mind and philosophical spirit. I cannot approve of the stereotype that women are inferior to men. We struggle, suffer, and grow strong beside any man, and our sex is not void of reason. So, remember, while I bear hardships, I still use my sarcastic, sardonic tone to prove there is hope. You may not see it in my writing, but keep looking for it, and hope. You'll find it. Trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that reading from the September to December 2020 issue of Down in the Dirt magazine. It is an issue collection book that is titled Late Frost. Late Frost. Perfect with having a Christmas tree behind me. Late Frost, check it out. Late Frost. I may come and share more from this book with you guys because I would be doing this during the time that Tom Woodruff would allow people for readings from books like this one for his community poetry open mic. I'm sorry that I can't be around, but in honor of that, I'm reading for this for you guys now. Everyone remain safe, stay creatively inclined, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you very much.